A very good morning to you guys. Welcome to Asake Online. This is the Breakfast Club. My name is Brighton Ncube. Over the past few weeks, we've been talking about politics. But today, we're bringing a different show where we talk about hustlers, entrepreneurship, and how to make money in Bulawayo and beyond Bulawayo. Good morning to you guys. Welcome to the show. And my guest this morning is Nkosana George Mazibisa. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my dear brother. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Hustler Summit has been running for 3 years now. Let's reflect from the first year. How has been the summit?
The summit is taken a leap. You know, we are proud of the steps where we come from. When in actual fact, the other day I was reflecting on the journey. I'm like, okay, so this is where we are. We're now moving to a stadium, despite the fact that we'll be outside, but the fact that we're going to a stadium, I'm like, okay. So first year with DJ Spoo and the Mofa team, you know, looking at 1,093 delegates, people coming in to listen, ignite, inspire, and innovate, looking at entrepreneurship in the regional ecosystem, because we don't exist in a vacuum, we exist in regions and continents. The following year, then we also moved to Misandling Amangali Ncube, one of Africa's youngest multimillionaire from Zambia. We had 2,173 delegates. So the numbers keep on moving, and we're like, okay, last year we were doing discover, define, deliver. And I was like, to myself and to my team, so whoever gave us this vision understands where we are going. So in retrospect, we are proud of the journey. We're also proud of the mistakes as well. It is through mistakes that we get to learn. And we're also proud of the partnerships. Previously, we had Bank APC, Econet last year with Old Mutual, Raw Gold. This year we have the US Embassy. We keep scaling. So it's a journey. Those lonely times, because entrepreneurship, no one is there, but it's a fulfilling, life-changing journey.
Yeah. There are many summits that I've seen, you know, been a summit, different expos, right? What makes the summit unique and different?
So what makes ours different from the rest of the summits is the fact that ours is demographic centered. We're looking at young people, because young people form the base of any society. Take, for example, in sub-Saharan Africa, people below the age of 35 up to 18, they are the biggest population. Africa is the youngest population globally. So if ever you're going to effect any economic discussion, any change, be it in social, any space, you need young people. So for Vision 2030, which is done by the government, and Agenda 2063, which is done by the Africa Union, you need a skilled labor force. That skilled labor force is found amongst that particular age a list of young people. I may be looking at what Trevor Ncube wrote, is it last week or this week, discussing the issue that we need to have a conversation around young people. How do we capacitate them? So Hustler Summit comes into that space. So Hustler Summit is specifically for young people to say, come, let's have conversation, transformational conversation around economic growth, employment creation, collaboration, and monetization of intellectual property. Our generation is different from our forefathers. Our forefathers believed in land, believed in oil. Ours believes in intellectual property. So your idea today, if it's well tested and patented, can make you a billionaire. So this is where the hustle comes in, where we're interconnected with one another on social media, also personally and also continentally, based on our conversations. So that's what makes Hustler Summit different, and also the name Hustler. Let me correct that. So the older generations continuously says to me, Mr. Mazibisa, your name sounds derogatory, it means someone who unquote. I simply say to them, in your generation, it meant that. In our generation means someone who's up, sharp, switched on, looking for making money, be it smart, be it swart, but it's someone who's willing to go a step further, be it at work, to say, you know what, I want to build a legacy for myself and for my family.
In Zimbabwe, everyone is a hustler, right? There are many problems that they face every day, you know. Sometimes we get transport and so on, looking for capital and so on. As the founder and organizer of the Summit, what are some of the key challenges that you guys have faced?
So one of our key challenges that we faced is also the fact that we're not immune to the economics environment. We are young. I recently turned 35. The rest of my team, they're below the age of 30. So when we seek partnerships, the first question that they will ask is, how old are you? Because we believe in ageism. As long as you do not have white hair, they think you can't do anything.
Yeah.
That's one of the challenges that we've faced. And also, again, the fact is the name in different key positions, be it in economic spaces, corporate, and in government, is the older generation. So to demystify that, and it takes time. And for the past 2 years, literally we've been funding it ourselves. 3/4 of the budget of Hustler Summit was coming from our own pockets, running around talking to so and so, who's that, who's there. We call that the bootstrapping in entrepreneurship.
Yep.
To keep the dream alive. Those are the challenges. And also pulling out last minute in terms of other sponsors, key sponsors. I remember you also saw that, eh? But we kept the dream moving. So those are one of the challenges that we face as well. And also when we try and scale beyond, it's still new. The idea of a summit to other people is still new. They still have this picture when you do business, it has to be too formal, too structured. Me and you are well traveled. We have seen summits that have creatives, summits that have events, entertainment, educational in one space. That's what the summit is all about. So that activation process, that process of also demystifying it, it's a journey on its own.
Maybe allow me to take back up a bit in terms of 3 years ago, planning for the summit. What sparked the idea? What sparked the inspiration behind the summit?
So the summit did not come overnight in 2022.
No.
So the first time I attended the summit was in 2016. I went to the presidential summit, the Obama presidential summit. It was in Washington, as a Mandela Washington fellow there. I said to them, I said to myself, okay, so the American government has brought in 700 young people from Africa to come and discuss Africa. Okay, what's stopping us as Africans to convene to discuss Africa? It's always AU, SADC, SADC Troika, what, it's political. But economically, what's stopping us? That's when the seed was planted. 6 years later, 2018, I was part of the 20 chosen entrepreneurs by Afrexim Bank to go to Egypt to attend the intra-Africa trade. I get them. There's intra-Africa trade. Let's make Africa borderless, there's movement of goods and people. We are the young people. Only 20 of us. So it means in the economic space, it's always the old guard. Where are we? Fast forward again, 2019, Kester Covent calls me. Says, I hear you're one of the best brains in Zimbabwe. I say, I'm not one of them. It's God's grace. So I want you to be part of 10 people who put up a thing for Youth in Daba.
Yep.
So we did Youth in Daba. So afterwards, I said to myself, you know what? We need something that continuously goes through for our people. So that's when the summit then started maturing. Remember, it is not the thought that counts. It's the incubation.
Yeah.
The more you have an idea and you start seeing it around, you start playing around. Yes, we've done events before. We've done Let's Do Business in the Township Tourism, testing our ideas there as the prototype events, all that. So up until 2022, I then activated my relationships with certain people in America. So I had met Farai Kundani, met his 2016. Spoke to him and said, hey, Fari, I want to do 1 or 2, 3 things, but I would love to have DJ Sue. Yes, I had known DJ Sue, but we would not have that relationship. Then she formalized the relationship and says, the best person to activate this thing for you is DJ Sue. So that's when now we activated the whole thing and building it up. So every time I travel not for fun, I travel because I want to be exposed. Because the world is bigger than my mother's kitchen, the world is bigger than Zimbabwe. We don't exist in a vacuum. We also try and see how others are doing it, learn. There's the BMW festival, different from ours where we just burn tires. There's money-oriented. We travel also to Coach Coachella, what's the name of it? It's in the US. It's musical and also business. And you ask yourself, but Bulawayo is a cultural hub. Social capital hub in Zimbabwe. Where are we missing it? Do we just wait for trade fair once a year?
Yeah.
Do we then wait for Sanganai once a year? Why can't we then build something that we can resonate with? that can, disrupt sub-Saharan Africa right from Bulawayo. So that's where the thinking Hustler Summit came in. Yes, not only myself, but the team. We have Kaiti Films, Orasi, we had other Evans, Samantha Panda, contributing, because I don't believe that I'm the best brains alone. I believe that my ideas, when they meet others, we sharpen them. Yeah.
Let's talk more about fusing political and also hustlers. I know this year are going to be fusing that more. Talk to us some more about that, importance of fusing the political part of it into the hustler part of it.
So Zimbabwe is a Christian nation. Social sub-Saharan Africa, we believe in God. That's why even also in politics, people say God is in it. Others say they go to churches when they want to campaign, or Zimbabwe is Zimbabwe. But we can't run away from the fact that we pray when we wake up every day. I want you to look for an article by Professor, I forgot the name of the professor, but it was done in Harvard Business Review 2013. He says entrepreneurs are closer to God than the rest of us. Why? Because entrepreneurs wake up in the morning and take more risk than anyone. So they talk to a higher power for the seed to germinate the unknown. So I said to myself, you know what? We can't go to church and be told about heaven. It can be abstract. Why can't we then also take certain lessons from the Bible? We have Job. If Job was present today, Job would be running the agriculture, the transport, will be running transport, agriculture, agro processing.
Your mining.
Yeah. Job. If Job was there today, we had people like I've forgotten the names of the people in the Bible who took care of David when he was in the wilderness, when he wrote that verse, Psalm 23, verse 1, because he was running away from Absalom. And it was entrepreneurs who sustained him. How do you feed 6,000 people? This is the army, not the people. Yeah. It is an entrepreneur feeding them every day, giving them bed, linen, and stuff. So I said to myself, okay, if entrepreneurs are there in the Bible, why can't we then start having a mindset shift around entrepreneurship using the Bible lens? What does God say about entrepreneurship? What does God say about accumulation of wealth? Do you acquire wealth as an individual, or you become a channel, a funnel to bless others? Or you are called to solve a problem as an entrepreneur? Then when you solve that problem, how then do we improve people's lives? So we then look at entrepreneurship from a mission-based approach. So that's what we're doing. We did it last year, Bible-driven entrepreneurship. It was a success. And this year we're doing it again. To have that shift where people don't go to churches and pray for wealth, and they spend the whole day, hallelujah, I receive. You don't receive, you work for it. So that's the mindset we're also correcting as well.
Yeah, let's dive deep into this year's event. What can you expect? Who are the guests coming through? What are the dates, the venues, and also the theme for this year?
So the theme for this year is hope and hustle. So someone asked me, why did you derive this theme, hope and hustle? There is Andre, the vocalist, is one of our speakers. So Andre, the vocalist, saying, at one point, things were tough. Things were hard. And I listened to that song, I wept. Because entrepreneurship is hard. You can move from a feast into a famine. You lose everything. I've sold stuff. I've lost things because of the entrepreneurial chain. So that song really kept me going throughout that ditches. Then we said, we need hope. As we're hustling, hope keeps us alive. It takes you from the gutter into the finer processes. So that's when the theme came in. Hope and hustle. One day, uzophumelela. Asilila abantu silwela impumelelo. We come from towns with sad stories. We're not in competition with anyone. We're simply correcting the narrative. That's where it came in. The speakers, yes, I've mentioned Andre, the vocalist, is coming with Tubeli locally. Person Point is one of the biggest platforms for women. They are doing effective change, also in terms of our way. African Women Academy of Entrepreneurship. So she's a speaker. We have Nyari Moyo of Yanaya. We want to hear a story. How do you start something, then it fails, and you continuously go back? Many of us are afraid to fail. So we will have those conversations. How do you do entrepreneurship in a risk environment and you remain dynamic? So those are the conversations because many people have failed and keep quiet. Others are afraid of failing, they don't attempt. So we want to have those conversations. Clear conversation. Then the other one, it's Seha Tatisi. She's coming all the way from the University of Maryland. She focuses on entrepreneurship and venture development. She's a director in the business center there. So the reason why we brought her, wanted to have this symbiotic relationship between her university and local universities in Bulawayo. So that there is that symbiotic relationship, whether they are exchange programs, postgraduates, scholarships, our people benefit. The same thing that Bulawa used to be twinned with, is it Dublin or what, in England, and we benefited. So in entrepreneurship, there is that two-way relationship. So that's why they say we are looking at. Then another speaker is, before I go to another speaker, yes, Tseka is part of IREX. Those that know IREX will tell you IREX is in charge of Mandela Washington Fellowship programming in Africa. She has raised more than $1 million for entrepreneurs in Guatemala, Tunisia, Iraq. So I'm mentioning these spaces where it's also risky to do business. Yet Zimbabwe is better than those. So yet best practices and lessons learned can inspire us. Then we have Nicolette Mashile. Yes, Nicolette Mashile. Everyone is talking about Nicolette Mashile. Nicolette Mashile is the financial pioneer from South Africa, TV host, broadcaster. She used to do the Daily Theatre, the Shift. Nicolette is massive. As of 2023, last year, she was valued at $2 million right from Mpumalanga. Built herself up. So she focuses on financial literacy education. She has done programs for Old Mutual, Sanlam, and JSE listed companies. She's into property development, how to make money from property. By the way, when we talk of Nicolette, I was reading in the morning, there is what you call the gas economics. Gas economics is valued at more than 45 billion rands in sub-Saharan Africa. Gas economics, money that is made in the township. Takes, for example, Chikomera, Chicken Corner, Baniban. There's too much money there. But if we learn to formalize them into structure, so those are the conversations we're going to have. So for this year, those are part of the conversation. Hence, we're going to Papa Fields. Others are asking, why are we going to Papa Fields? Those that know the history of Bulawayo will tell you that, yes, Makokoba was the first township where our fathers stuck. But for the affluent, for the entrepreneurs, those who made it, Papa Fields was the pen side. That's where the spirit of business was there. So going back, we can't go any further without going any back to know your history. So going back to Papa Fields to say, okay, so this is where all the journey started from. And going there, our desire is to get into the stadium inside, to fill it up to 30,000 with young people listening to business. As I was saying, it's totally impossible. I said it's impossible in your mind, not in ours. Yes, the way you think is different from ours. We've seen the world, we've seen the kitchen. So we've seen Nkosana Ncube, our speaker, last year speaker, filling stadiums in Zambia. Doing business only, but people tend to think filling stadiums is all about entertainment, like what Casper University does. Fill up what. It's Tina is something saying we're going to fill it in terms of business. But for now, we'll be outside, because there are certain processes that are not yet done. Then in terms of programming, yes, what makes it this year different from the rest is the pitch competition that everyone wants to know about. How do I participate? How do I win?
Let's talk about the dates, also the ticket sales. How much are the tickets?
Okay. So the dates is 22 March. 22 March, that's when it's Friday. We have general tickets starting as $5 for high school students. Come and learn entrepreneurship. We have tertiary for universities. We have general tickets 15. We have your SME 25, entrepreneurs 40, VIP 50. So entrepreneurs, this one is for you. So our pitch competition is, we've put aside $3,000 with our partners to be one seed capital. So for you to qualify, you need to buy ticket $40, then be a fully subscribed member of the summit $20, spend $60. Then your business must be registered 3 years below the age of 35. We can't empower someone above. We want our age group below the age of 35, 3 years below. Whether it's 3 months, 6 months, as long as it's registered, you're good to go. Then you buy a ticket. Then what's going to happen? Then all those tickets are going to put into this draw. Then different people are going to be chosen to choose the final list of 10 or 15. Then those people are going to stand up there and pitch for 5 minutes. Out of 10, 5 are winning. Then we have consolation prize. First winner is $1,000. Second winner is $700. Third winner is $500. Then for the best school idea is around $350. Then best student idea is $250. Then consolation is $200. And that money we're not giving you there and there. There are processes, because we don't believe in giving people money. when we part ways, we also go through training, incubation processes, exposures, and put you into different links, so that at the end of the day, even if you get the money, it's beyond the money. Yes.
Guys, if you're just joining us, this is the Breakfast Club. My name is Brighton Ncube, and I'm talking to a hustler this morning. That's Nkosana George Mazibisa, the founder and organizer of the Hustler Summit, coming to Bulawayo this March. Mazibisa, speak about the issue now of we are pro township, unapologetically township, right?
Clearly, I'm from the streets.
We've been doing the township economy, township tourism at Elopengwela, right? Speak to us more about that, where Bulawayo is missing in terms of promoting township economy and township tourism.
I mean, I'm very clear. I'm not apologetic. I'm from the township. Even up to today, I still stay in the township. Winnie died stayed in the township. Richard Maponya was also there. You know, there's a certain spirit that keeps us there. The spirit of hustle, being grounded there. Because you realize where you're coming from, and any day you can be there again. So township tourism, the numbers are very big. That is why you find your people who deliver bread, they go direct to the townships. One ward. My ward used to go at 14 before it was cut. We had close to 5,830 households. And those that were buying bread were around 2,000, meaning $2,000 every day was going. By 30 days, 60,000 US capital flight. So what if those companies did corporate social responsibility in the township and made sure that there's scholarship for the kids, fix the roads, fix the sewer? Because at 60,000 going to them, we can't have it back. So when you do township tourism, we're simply saying there are stories to be told in the township about the hustle. There are stories to be told in the township about culture, who we are. We then break barriers, like what we used to do. Then we'll bring companies, they exhibit in the township, have a dialogue, a conversation with their potential clients, their potential customers. If you go to an office today, there are barriers. There's a receptionist, there's a guard who thinks that he owns, the security guard thinks that he owns the bank, he owns everything. So if you don't speak to him in English, so when we bring companies to that, we're simply saying you have an interaction, because commerce is about chemistry. How then you're connected to the people. And also every word in Bulawayo is a story why it is named Lopengula, Mzilikazi, Machobane, Mkanwini, Country Park, in Tumbane. They have heroes there that they adore. And this is the same thing that I shared with the current leadership in City Council, the mayors. I said to them, you know what, if you want people's buy-in, go every township, identify a hero there. That then influences people to understand service delivery. Hence, in our wood, where I come from, we have paintings where we are celebrating our own local stories and we tell our story. Yeah.
I know you're part of different initiatives in terms of schools, local schools where you're coming from. Speak to us more about that, the importance of being grounded and being part of the community solutions.
So currently I sit in the mayor's chair fund board. So we mobilize the resources for the mayor every year, then we distribute to the less privileged. So there is satisfaction in that, knowing that I'm also impacting. Also, I sit in the community podium board, telling his stories, Amakaya stories. There is joy in that. Also, I sit in the IM for Bulawayo fighting COVID-19. When COVID hit us, I was one of the first people to be called in by the highest officers to say, Mr. Mazibisa, do you mind coming on board, helping the government fight COVID-19? That's when we brought all of you guys on board to say it's our thing. And this place, previously, also I was the youngest SDC chairman in the history of Zimbabwe. At the age of 22, yes, I was elected, transformed the school into a massive school, award-winning, merit-winning. We had people, the American ambassador visiting, Thabo Mbeki's advisor also visiting the school. If you go to the school today, you'll be surprised the projects that you'll find there. Fish farming, greenhouses, ICT, community culture. It's a hive. Because I believe, Brighton, you don't need to go further for you to experience the world. Where you are, as long as your mind is opened, you can then tap into those spaces. And schools can function as information centers, entrepreneurial centers. And we made sure that those that were struggling in terms of paying fees, their parents will come and work at school and participate in projects. And they had this collective ownership. And also we were cutting transport costs because of agriculture. Abazali will come bahlathengise khona phana. So it means i-cost yokuya town seyikhathile. So entrepreneurship is about cost effectiveness. So those are part of the initiatives that I've been involved in. Yes, there are plenty plus some I've lost count. Some I've just said, you know what, so and so is better off to sit there than me because of commitment.
Someone's watching the show today, they're coming from the township, right? You're mentioning all these things that you're mentioning, the fellowships, people have met, and also these people are coming through the summit. What can you say to someone who's watching the show out there at home, who are doubting themselves? Say, I mean, I really guys, there's nothing that can come out of me. What can you say to them? There's the camera there.
Listen to me, young man. No one owes you anything, and no one is coming to save you. Sympathy and pity will never take you anywhere. You fight for your own thing. You fight for your own space. Who to Velekas doesn't matter. I'm from the township. We are from the township. We fought the stereotype, the stigma, name it all. They will label you, ulamawala, they will label you, you're a dreamer. Vusi is such a big dreamer. You know, but look at where we are today. I'm not saying I'm far, but the fact that I pursued my dream. Brighton, if you know very well, I don't spend a month without traveling and flying in campus. So if Mazibisa can do it from the dusty streets, you can do it 10 times better. So never doubt yourself. It is God who gave you that dream. It's God who gave you that ability. It is God who will sail you through. Don't be afraid of failing. Failing is part of life.
Let's speak about what you're doing for the communities last summit.
So last year we had agripreneurship. Agripreneurship as a pathway to Africa's food crisis. So because we live in Bulawayo, there is a water crisis. You can't be a hustler without bathing first. You can't be a hustler without having access to water and do your business. So this is Hustler Summit. We said, you know what, let's complement the government. Let's complement the city council in alleviating the water crisis. We have done that in the past where we had water augmentation during COVID, giving people water, but we said, no, what, let's go deeper. So as that last summit, they say we put in an initiative where we're drilling balls for communities, up to 10. So far we've done 4. To say, you know what, this is our way of giving back to the society. And believe that someone who's going to have access to water can also start a project, be it farming, be it what. So that's where we are now. We have done 4, and we'll cover the region of Matabeleland North to Matabeleland South to make sure that our people have access to water, and we complement government. And also, when we do all these things, we are inspiring other young people that as young as they are, they can also contribute. You don't need to be extremely old. Yes, we're focused on young people, but anyone can come to the summit and draw inspiration. And if you are overseas or in South Africa or Harare, or you are too busy to attend the summit, you can sponsor someone to attend the summit. With $100, you can sponsor up to 20 kids from your previous school. Be it Nkosana Ncube founders, you can sponsor them, they can attend. You can sponsor up to 10 students using $100 from your former university to attend. We never had these opportunities. So people must take advantage of that. For example, now we have someone from South Africa who's saying, I'm sponsoring up to 20. Another from Malaysia, I'm sponsoring up to 20. So it's collective ownership and building of a society. Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu.
But how has been the response from the community of Bulawayo and beyond Bulawayo in terms of supporting the summit?
So in terms of support, remember, we are wired towards fun and entertainment. Anything that requires to think, we shy away. So it is only few people who have seen the vision. Yes, others are supportive. They're like, okay, we see you. In Bulawayo, they say, we see you, they click. We see you, they click. But if you put a post about umuntu who's naked or what, drama yake, I'm not commenting, but overall, the support is positive. Overall, the support is positive. Also, thanks to Mzo7, they've made the word go out and everyone is knowing about it. Mnigazo Mpopo, Osem Julie, Kaiti Films, you check or Lamas, by the way, has done a song for us, Hope and Hustle, it's played on Kulmani FM, Skies Metro. You start feeling that support to know, okay, so our people are seeing what we're trying to do. And also the international community, I can't skip this. The international community, maybe by the fact that I belong to the global village, they saw the vision before. Yeah, we have been embraced also by certain people in the hierarchy of power in Zimbabwe and economics. They're like, okay, young man, we see you, come closer, we mentor you. Let's see how best we can push this thing up for you.
You mentioned students, right? University students. Who's your target market who's supposed to attend the summit?
So our critical mass it's people between the age of 15 and 35. University students are still figuring themselves. That's where they also need to make the critical information as well, critical decisions. So when we do a summit, we bring them, many of them. High school, yes, they're still youngish, but not majority, but university students, emerging entrepreneurs and creatives. My brother, I was reading Forbes Africa over the weekend. Those are the type of magazines I prefer. The amount of money made in the creative space is too much. Look at David, look at, what's this guy, there's Benna Boy. The amount of money they make from the creative space. I ask myself, where are we missing it in Bulawayo? So hence I'm targeting the creatives. I'm an artist, don't insult your artist, empower them. And also, I know someone might not like it. No one is spending money on artists. Why can't you do that? You have money. If you have money to buy that, which is $10, you have money to go and buy gloves and parasites and paracetamols and go to Nkai, where there is Puma Hospital, and donate. So it's easy to speak for imali omunye umuntu ongilayo wena. So focus on yours. Start doing the change, the progress. Then we will join you.
Lastly, Mazibisa, I want to come to your summit. Where can I buy the tickets? Why should I come to your summit?
Tickets, you go to Fast Cash. There is a shop by James Court, Ekoneni. You get there, you'll buy your tickets. You can also go online to Atlas Summit page, to Kaitsi, Sanele. You can come to my page. You can go to Mzo, social media, just inbox. You'll buy tickets. Then also you can go to Person Point offices at Zimnat Building, office 203. You'll buy them there as well. So our numbers are 0777 696 776. It's WhatsApp strictly. Don't say hi. I've been greeted by too many people. I'm so and so. I would love to buy a ticket. I would like to participate. Why should I attend the Atlas Summit? Number one, Atlas Summit, that's where you get industry insights and better information. It is through conversation at the summit that you then understand better things. Number two, leveraging social capital. It is there that you meet people who think like you or better than you. Then you're able to collaborate. So ilanga borders on injengo or asihanga amapiano akhona mbekuyini. But when you come to the summit, that's when you are able to sharpen the direction of your life, the purpose, or you're starting from there. You get inspired. Okay, others have done this, so I'm also capable of doing that. And also access to financial capital. We may not have all the resources, but we know whom to tap into. We bring those institutions to your doorstep and we have those conversations with them. It may not be today, tomorrow, but it's a journey that you'll have established with those right key enablers.
Mazibisa, thanks so much for your time this morning, for coming through the Breakfast Club.
Thank you so much, my brother. Looking forward to seeing you. Also, viewers, looking forward to seeing you at the summit.
You've been watching the Breakfast Club. My name is Brighton Ncube, and my guest for this morning was Nkosana George Mazibisa, the founder of the Hustler Summit. He's inviting you to attend the Hustler Summit in Bulawayo, and you've heard all the details where you can buy your tickets and who's coming to speak at the summit. Hope you guys enjoy your day and enjoy the show. Be blessed.